Hey guys, I'm actually doing it again. It wasn't just a one-time thing. Nope. It could have been, but I'm not. This is my jam. I'm gonna do this every week, every Tuesday. Andrew X, verbal sex with Andrew X. That's right. Yeah. Even as I sat here almost doing it, I almost didn't do it. I've got this guy living in my head. Tells me to do stuff, or actually, he tells me not to do stuff, or he makes me feel like I shouldn't. Going into this, I was like, oh, it's gonna be hard. That's what he tells me. He tells me this shit's gonna be hard. I'm gonna have to think of things. Wouldn't you just rather just fucking sit here? No, I wouldn't rather just fucking sit here. That's been my whole fucking problem, right? Talked a lot about this last week, but I am stoked on this fucking podcast. You know why? Because that fucking fucker in my head is telling me that I shouldn't be. So I am. Fuck you, guy in my head. That's how I feel like I should take everything on, you know? Every fucking day there's gonna be some shit like this. Every fucking day there's gonna be that fucker in my head telling me that, oh my god, it's gonna be fucking hard. Wouldn't you rather just buy the new fucking Dark Souls game and just play it for like 17 hours, nonstop, fall asleep, come up again, and just do it all over? Oh man, I could really do that, but fuck that. What's that gonna get me? That's gonna get me the experience of having played that game, which I still want to do, by the way, but not after I do some shit like this. This is my jam, man. This and stand-up comedy. I'm going to be doing this for a while, and I'm stoked on it. I finally feel like I found something that I should be in, rather than something that I'm trying really hard to get into. Like, for a lot of years, I've been in bands, and bands are a really fucking hard thing to get together, man. Trying to get people together, trying to get that many egos in one room to fucking all coalesce into a, organic thing that lives on its own and actually sustains, is way too fucking hard, man. And then trying to do the solo thing, like there's so many things that I want to do that, I tried to do solo, and I just came to the realization that I need other people, and to do that, it's just going to be hard to work with all that people. That in the music industry is just fucking, oh my god, they're suing their fans, and they're just so up their own ass that I just don't feel like it's something that I really want to be a part of anymore. So, yeah, I need to find some shit that I'm stoked on. This is my jam. Podcasting, fucking stand-up comedy. I don't even mind going up and eating dick and just having nobody laugh whatsoever, because then I know there's always a learning process. It's, it's fun. It hurts, but it's fun. Podcasting is kind of hard. I've got that fucker in my head telling me that it's going to be hard. I sat here, and the reason it almost didn't happen was because I was sitting here. All my equipment worked. It's not new, but I got a better microphone to use until some newer equipment comes next week. And I was sitting here fucking around with it. It was working, and I was just trying to figure out a way to have it work better. And who gives a fuck, Like, it was working as good as it was gonna work. And I just continued to fuck with it. I was like, no, dude, I could just sit here and fuck with the fucking sound input and use a different one, an optical one instead. And just, god damn it, I just hit record and started recording. And that's this. Hello, guys. And now that I'm doing it, it's fucking awesome, and all it took was that one step, and that's the thing, like, steps. All those things that, you feel like you have weighing over you that you've got to get taken care of, like, it's the same kind of thing when you've got that bill that you've had coming for fucking years, and it just keeps coming, and you never open the envelope, and it's just always sitting there, and you never pay it, and you never talk to them. They call, and you ignore the phone calls. It just keeps mounting and mounting. That collections letter you get, you just keep ignoring it, and it just seems like this big insurmountable fucking task. And then if you just fucking call them, you realize that it's like not that hard to take care of. You don't owe them that much money. You can pay them, and all of a sudden it's easy. You're not worried about getting your fucking power cut off all the time, and you're not worried about, you don't have that stress, like, holding you down. And it was easy. And all that time you felt like you had this giant insurmountable thing just weighing on you, and you looked at the letter when it came and just threw it down like, oh, and then just wanted to forget about it, you know? And I've been guilty of doing that too. But it fucking sucks. And the thing about it is that it's not true. The thing is that the thing that you're so worried about is not this big insurmountable task. It's a bill, or it's a fucking podcast, or whatever, you know? And if you just take that first step, you'll find that it's so fucking easy. All that shit that you were worrying about, all you ever have to do for anything, to get anything done, is just take the first step. You find the next stopping point, you know, the next thing where, you know, the ball's in someone else's court, or you're waiting on something that you need, or, you know, whatever, and you work on something until something's done. Like, you call the bank, you know, you work out payments on that, and it just goes away eventually. That first bill payment is your first step. You can't pay any more than that because you can't afford any more than that. You call them up and you say, hey, I can't afford to pay any more than this. And they're like, okay, well, you can pay how much you can afford for X amount of time, and then it'll be paid off, and we'll, you know, stop bugging you. So you've got that thing now. You paid as much as you can afford this month, and you can stop worrying about it until next month, right? That's how it works. And it just becomes this thing where it's not this big insurmountable thing. It's just this thing that you do every month that you can afford because you know it's going there, and you never get bugged again. And in the case of doing something like this, it's like, replace getting bugged again by bill collectors with getting bugged by myself, by my conscience, for not doing the thing that I know I should be doing. And, you know, that's what you've got there. You know, I've got this fucking demon in my head that just keeps telling me that shit's hard and that I should just sit down and not do anything and all this shit. And everything I want to do from this point on in my life is just do everything I can to say fuck you to that fucking guy in my head, that fucking demon in my head that just keeps telling me that shit is impossible, that I'm never going to do. It's all going to be pointless because it's not like you're going to be successful anyway. No one's ever going to listen to you. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck you. That's what this recording means. So, yeah, not to keep harping on about that, but that's the whole point. Things are fucking easy to take care of, and once you stop thinking about it as this big insurmountable task and just break it down into the chunks that you need to do, like I don't need this podcast to sound perfect second episode out of the gate. I can just make it sound like shit. I mean, I know it's not going to sound like absolute shit, especially compared to last week, but fuck. You know, I can do what I can do now, and then later when I've got the means to make it better, which, by the way, it's going to be better. I'm working on getting some guests. I've got 2 people lined up to be guests so far, and it's going to be great. We're going to have some back and forth, and there's some people that I think that are really interesting to talk to, and I hope you enjoy listening to them, and that's going to be another step in the podcast, making it better. Every episode, it's going to be better. Boom! Another chunk in the bank. Next week, guests. Huh! Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm fired up, dude. I'm going to be doing stand-up comedy again at the open mic tomorrow night at 8 o'clock at Tacoma Comedy Club. It's going to be fucking awesome. I'm probably going to suck ass, but there's going to be a bunch of other funny people out there that aren't as suck ass as me and are actually funny, and you can laugh at them. And maybe at me if I'm funny, but, you know, I'm a newbie, as they say on the internet. I gotta work on my breathing, huh? I'm a newbie, as they say on the internet. I gotta stop breathing through my mouth, people. I'm sorry you gotta listen to me do that. But I just worked out, and so it's kind of hard for me to... Maybe I shouldn't do that right before we record the podcast. That would be a fucking genius thing to do, Andrew. Brilliant. That's the funny thing about doing a podcast. It's like, remember when the internet started, it was supposed to be this big, great equalizer. You know, like before that, it was just like, oh, we're just like getting fed what we're told to like by the media. And, you know, you can't really see all the good, talented people because, you know, it's just all this big corporate bullshit and blah, 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 blah. And then the internet comes along, and now it's like, yes, finally, the great equalizer. Everybody can just throw their content on and, you know, become successful if they deserve it. You know, which in certain cases is true. everybody can. You know, the cost of production, you don't rely on like a production company and all this shit to get your content on. But that didn't necessarily translate into a higher quality of product, shall we say. I mean, think about think about all the people that have gotten famous from the internet so far. Like, what do we have? Really? I mean, there's a few exceptions, but mostly it's people like, remember the Chocolate Rain guy? Or like Leave Britney Alone. What was his fucking name? The, like, fake drama queen. Just crap. I mean, it's worse. Well, okay. It's not worse than Maury Povich, but it's pretty bad. It's not morally reprehensible. I keep saying that like I know what it fucking really means. I mean, I guess I do, but it's not something I fucking use in my regular vocabulary, and this is the second podcast I've used it in. Fucking goddamn it. I mean, I guess there's Justin Bieber, and I guess you could argue that he's somewhat talented or whatever, but he's... Okay. Here's a challenge for all you people named, aged, like, 25 and above. Like, name me a Justin Bieber song. A couple of you out there might have been able to name one, but okay, name two. You know what I mean? How does the song go? And I know there's that one that goes baby, 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 but I don't really know how it goes. That's all. I couldn't like hum it to you. His music just fucking sucks. You know, and I guess you could argue that he's, that he's talented or whatever, but it's a conundrum. He got famous way too soon. He wasn't ready. He was singing with soul that he didn't have. And then he got famous, and now he's soulless. I mean, I don't want to say he's soulless, but, like, his music is, for sure. And he didn't have any, like, rough spots in his life to go through that taught him what it was like to go through rough spots and make him appreciate the shit that he's got. And now we see all this shit in the news where we've got to, like, listen to his latest escapade into doing some, like, juvenile shit because he's got way too much money for his age. You know? And it's just... I can see glimmers of him being a cool person. You know, just because... Well, maybe not cool, but maybe relatable to me because, you know, it's... What would I do at 19 if I had a fucking $100 million or whatever the fuck he's got, you know? Like, I would have been dead by now, you know? And it's just... So in that respect, I can relate, and I can kind of see, you know, him being a douchebag at his, like, court hearing, or at his, whatever that was. You know, I can see the punk rock in that, and that's kind of cool. You know, like, he's really getting a lot of shit for, you know, stuff that most kids do or would do. And he's being treated like it's, you know, I don't know. I kind of am on his side, but he's kind of a douchebag, so I kind of don't want to be. It's a conundrum, man. I just don't know what to think about Justin Bieber. Yeah. I've been trying to think of things to rile me up, but it's been kind of hard because I've been feeling pretty good. Been working out a lot. Been fucking making progress. I'm lifting bigger kettlebells than I could even a couple months ago. Just in these last, like, 8 weeks. You know, I'm adding 20 pounds on in some cases. Hell yeah. Losing weight. Feeling great. Eating the right stuff. Or trying to. As far as I can gather from what the right stuff is. How the fuck do you really figure it out? It's so complicated. But yeah. I'm trying to think of shit that riles me up. Because that's when I'm funniest, is when I'm all pissed off. Or not. But, I mean, it's been kind of hard because I've been trying to keep a positive outlook. A positive outlook for my own life's sake. My own little Justin Bieber conundrum in my head. Balancing the bad shit in life. Exposing myself to the bad shit in life with, well, not hundreds of millions of dollars, but, you know, what I can to feel good. I'm guaranteed I may be happier than Justin Bieber right now. Maybe I can't guarantee that, but it's definitely a possibility. Oh, man. So this fucking cunt next door, man. I have a dog, and she is ancient. She's, going on 15 years old in a few months here. And she's never out of my sight. She never leaves, my vicinity, ever. And the one time that she did, I always know where she is. The one time that she did, she just walked down the road to this house kind of next door. And this lady is just like, I found her within 4 minutes. I was calling her name and, because I'm a fucking conscientious dog owner, right? I know where my dog is, or I try to, and if I don't, I figure it out. So she was just like sniffing around in the, in the beds by the yard. And there's the two owners, the lady and her husband that live there, just freaking the fuck out. She's asking me if this is my dog. We've been finding lots of shit in our yard. I'm pretty sure it's probably your dog. And the guy's like, yep, it sure looks like the dog knows its way around. I'm like, lady, my dog is ancient. My dog is ancient. She's 15 years old. She's never out of my sight. This is like a 1 in 1,000 chance. She isn't coming and shitting in your dog or in your yard. And she's like, well, do you do things like let your dog outside without a leash? Do you do things like leave your door open while the dog's there without anything to protect her from getting out? Do you do things like blah, 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 blah? And she just started listing off all this shit that she assumed, or that she reckoned I wasn't allowed to do because she finds shit in her yard, right? And I know it's not even my dog's shit. And this guy's like, well, it sure does look like he knows his way around here. And I'm like, how the fuck does it look like a dog knows its way around your fucking yard? The way it's sniffing, really? You know what it looks like to have my dog know that it looks its way around your yard? Fuck you. There's people that own a dog across the street from you. There's people that own the dogs in the house right next to you, a bunch of them that get out all the time. And that's what fucking happens. It's not like there's some people out there just walking dogs into your yard maliciously, having them shit in your house. No, these dogs are getting out. They're not even my dogs. These dogs are getting out, finding a piece of grass and shitting in it like they always do. That's what they don't know any better. They don't know it's not their yard to shit in. They just gotta shit. And they're in your fucking yard, out where it shouldn't be. And nobody's around to see them. And maybe it's the fault of, in the end, it is the fault of the owner for letting it out. But at the same time, it's like everybody's got a fucking yard. We've all got yards to pick up shit in. I find dogs shit in my yard that isn't mine, or that isn't my dog's shit all the fucking time. I clean it up anyway, and I don't fucking bitch. I don't walk out into the street while your next door neighbor with their dog, with their geriatric fucking dog, and just start listing off shit that they're not allowed to do in there. You know what I mean? It's like, what makes you so fucking special, What makes you so fucking special that you can't have dog shit in your yard like everybody else? Everybody else has to put up with dog shit and doesn't run out into the street and yell. And you could tell all this shit, she had it prepared. She goes out and she sees dog shit in her yard and she just goes inside and stews about it. You can fucking tell. Like, she is angry. You could tell that she is an angry fucking woman, and her husband has to put up with it a lot because he was actually kind of reasonable a little bit. He said the one thing and he kind of went back on it just when I looked at him, like, really? Like, when he said it looked like she knew her way around, I just looked at him like, really? And he was like, oh, yeah, but what do I know, And that's when his fucking wife started going off and listing shit in my fucking face. God damn it. See, I found something to get me too riled up. But yeah, who are you to not get dog shit in your yard when the rest of us do? You know what I mean? I clean up my dog's shit, and I see where she does it, and I clean it up. I buy the little fucking bags. I got used to picking up the warm pile of shit with the dog bag and having feel of warm dog shit in your hand through a very thin piece of plastic. I do that. I'm a conscientious fucking dog owner, and this bitch, this fucking cold bitch that just gets stewing and that just stews and stews and stews in her own house about dog shit and comes up with all the things that she's going to say when she finally finds the guy that leaves the dog shit in her yard. She comes out and blasts it all on the first person that she sees with a fucking dog and a fucking... Oh my God. She's like, she doesn't get to deal with dog shit in her yard, but I have to deal with her fucking cunt ass in my fucking road. And this isn't like a yard that you just like walk by and your dog can merely stroll through as you not pay attention and walk down the sidewalk. There is no sidewalk. It's a dirt fucking road. You have to try to get into this piece of grass. So, I mean, there's nobody doing it, but she's doing it, and it's obvious, but she's just fucking mad, and she's got to take it out on somebody, and that somebody had to be me. For no fucking... I know it wasn't my dog. I know it's not my dog's shit. There's way more likely culprits. She knew it, but fuck her. Maybe I'll try to get her on as a guest, and we'll have this out peacefully, of course. I will calm down about it, because, you know, this just happened. Maybe I've got that, like, hyper-aggressive, get too angry at, like, little things disease they keep talking about on the fucking radio. Yeah. I mean, look at me. Don't you hate it when people do that? Just start, like, diagnosing themselves with shit, you know what I mean? Like, they would fucking know, like, yeah, I'm really OCD. I just, every time I get a new video, I put it right in the alphabetical order where it should be. Or, like, I just get absolutely manic. I stay up all night and work on something. And then afterwards I fall asleep. So I'm up and then I'm down. Or, you know, like, you know, I've got, what's that, like, phobia, where you can't, like, phobias are the big one people do with, you know, like, they're like, yeah, you know, I'm totally agoraphobic, if that's, what is the one where you fucking can't, you're afraid of people or going out of your house? Yeah, agoraphobia. Agoraphobia, that's what it is. Agoraphobia. So they, you know, I'm totally, I've gotten agoraphobia in my old age. I don't go out as much as I used to. You know, like, they're just diagnosing themselves with these, like, awful diseases that, because they just going through some normal shit that kind of sounds like what the disease is. Ugh. Like, I saw this, people just, like, take these phrases or words and they assume they assume they know what they mean, really, and it means something absolutely different, or, like, they just obviously don't have an understanding of what the thing actually is. Like, I saw this lady on Facebook the other day talk about how washing dishes is meditation for her, and I'm like, it's not meditation, man. You're thinking about the dishes, and, yeah, you know what I mean? And I get that there might be a meditative aspect, as one say, but it's not like, it isn't meditation. Yeah, I'm sorry, this will be a lot easier to be cool when we've got some guests coming on. I'm just stuck here, you know, rambling on by my fucking self, and you guys gotta sit here fucking listening to it. I almost feel sorry for you. I almost feel fucking sorry for you, but you clicked play, it's your fault. Alright, what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, again, I'm doing stand-up at the Tacoma Comedy Club tomorrow for a few minutes at the open mic with a bunch of other funny guys working on their material. Come check it out at 8 o'clock Wednesday tomorrow. That's March 19th. I love stand-up comedy, man. I kind of suck at it. I mean, which I guess I shouldn't expect any more than, because, you know, I'm brand new, basically only been doing it for a few months or whatever, but man, I love it. It's just the most challenging art form that I've found, and it's just the sense of going into the club and being there and waiting to go on and hanging out and having a couple drinks before, and you know, taking the video of it, getting up, doing my thing, bombing, or maybe not completely bombing, getting a couple laughs, then, you know, videotaping the whole thing and bringing it home and analyzing the thing, trying to figure out what I did wrong. And it's just fucking great. Maybe not as instantly gratifying as playing music in some ways, but it's definitely more intellectually fulfilling, which is something that I've been looking for. It's definitely a lot more prone to being exposed to negativity from your crowd, I guess. I mean, in that, like, you don't expect people to clap or, like, make a noise every time you do, like, a solo or something cool part of the song. You know, once in a while it happens, but... And then after the song, almost always they clap, even if they, like, didn't fucking like it. I mean, there's different levels of clapping and stuff, but it's not like just telling a joke, having nobody laugh, and then having to go on, like having to go on with that and say something else and try and bring yourself out of it. Whew, man. It's a rush. It's great. I'm totally addicted to it. I'm going to be doing it every day that I can. I want to start going to every open mic I can around the area. Every one in Seattle, every one in Tacoma, every one down to Portland, Olympia, maybe even Vancouver, Spokane, all kinds. Everything, every open mic I can sign myself up for and have time for, I'm going to try and do. That's my goal. I'm getting there. This week, I'm going to try to do another open mic. I'm not going to advertise that one yet, but I'll go and see how it goes. And yeah, what a rush, man. It's been a great fucking ride so far, and it's only going to get better because I'm driven. I'm driven to fucking make it better and to make it funny. So we'll see. Yeah, so part of this whole podcast thing I want to do is try and work on my speech skills, of all things. Like things like incorporating more tone to my voice and making it higher and lower instead of just having the and the the stoner voice that's just kind of like I need to make my voice a little more animated and enunciated, and I've had a problem with that my whole life. And doing the podcast thing, I figure I can just get some practice talking into a mic over and over and over and over and over again and making it. You might notice me slip into the sometimes, like I've been doing even here, and even now trying to enunciate more. It's all part of the process, ladies and gentlemen. All part of the process of this loser trying to drag himself up from not being a loser anymore. And that's about all I got again for this one, ladies and gentlemen, just by myself. As I said last week, these are going to be a little longer, an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours when I have guests, because I'm going to try to have guests on that are good conversationalists. And right now, I'm just not good at having a conversation with myself, as you can plainly see. I'm not good at finding things in the fucking news. Like, just like, the topic of the day is... It's not that doing that is bad. I want to do that. It's just that I'm bad at it. It's my fault. It's my fault. But I'll edit that out. Anyway, if you tuned into this, I will let you know on Facebook, Twitter, and all of that good stuff who the guest next week will be. But I guarantee you, either of the people that I've got lined up, it will be great. Both great conversation with funny people and all that. So stay tuned. Until next time.